And here we go with something else super rare today. Now, a lot of us that grew up in the late 80s and early 90s, we played with the WWF Hasbro. And these were a lot of our favorite lines because they were so much smaller than the LJN. They gave us a chance to really be able to take these to school for show and tell and take these to our friend's house, and now they actually did moves instead of just being fixed in place like the LJN. Well, what we have here today is something probably outside of things that are employee issued, the rarest of the quote-unquote Hasbro line, and what makes this even more fun is they're not even Hasbros. This is the highly sought after WWF Funskools line. The Hasbros ran from 1990 to 1994, and in 94 Hasbro and WWF decided to part ways. Well, Funskools India decided to pick up the contract and more or less take what was ever left, which is why out of the Funskools that were produced, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. You have everything from Series 1 to Series 8. And there's no good reason, and we even have something here that only exists in the Funskool world. So without further ado, let's get started. First we have Demolition Smash, which was Series 1. And by the way, signed Roddy Piper, who's no longer with us, signed the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, another Series 1, signed Mr. Perfect. And I know what you're thinking, like the Mr. Perfect, it's missing the J hook. Well, the thing about Funskools is, as you can see, the bubble is different than your normal Hasbro. That thing is super thin, and the card backing is paper thin. And you got to keep in mind, these went to a third world country in the 90s where toys might not have been the most important thing. So any condition of these still on the card makes them extremely valuable. Even like this warrior that is literally beat to hell, but the bubble is still intact. So therefore, it still has significant value. But that's what I love. Like, you've got the Series 1 out of $1 Million Man and Smash, but yet we go to Series 2 Warrior and the fourth of the Macho Man figures. Macho's a pretty rare one, but nothing is rarer than what we're about to see next. I've had this in my possession for about 4 or so years, and I've been hunting Funskools for about 13 now. And this is the only Hulk Hogan Funskool on card that is known to exist. There are some loose ones out there, but you always got to be careful with loose because you never know, especially in this day and age of the 3D printer. But what you do know is that this is without a doubt the legit Hogan Funskool. And here's what's fun about that. 1995. Now we go to the red cards. Lex Luger. A very nice example of The Undertaker, which is a very valuable Funskool. A very valuable Bam Bam Bigelow, because this was not known to exist until highspots.com came up with a large amount of Hasbros that they bought from somebody, and some Funskools were sprinkled in there, and there were 3 of these Bam Bams. And I believe this to have been this one, and one of the other 2 were in comparable shape, and these are the best known examples of it. a Yokozuna, which is amazing considering how cheap those bubbles are and how heavy that figure is. And then something that I think is very cool, because this only exists in the Funskool world, a red card Razor Ramon. And if you look, his chains are brawn instead of gold, which is exclusive to the Funskool line. And even though it's a shitty signature, it is signed. And the only other two figures that are known to exist out there is a Honky Tonk Man, and there is allegedly a Bret Hart, which I've only seen a card backing of and a loose version. I have never seen it on the card to where it's the Honky Tonk Man. I've seen it on the card. This set together with the autographs, right around 20 grand. So, who knows what you guys will get a look at next. We're out.